When you decide to stay no contact, it deeply affects the narcissist and their new supply. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm grateful you're here with us again for another deep dive into the emotional landscape of healing. If our discussions resonate with you or bring clarity to your journey, I encourage you to like this video and subscribe. Your support not only strengthens our community, but also helps these messages reach more survivors who desperately need to understand what they've been through. Today, we're stepping into a topic that many people misunderstand, even those who have lived through narcissistic abuse themselves. We're going to unravel exactly how your commitment to strict no-contact affects both the narcissist and their new supply. At first glance, it might seem strange to imagine that your silence could disturb or influence people who appear to have moved on. You might even assume that once they're entangled with someone new, your existence is irrelevant to them. But as we'll explore in depth, your no-contact boundary carries far more psychological weight than you may realize. As we've discussed in earlier videos, narcissists operate from a warped internal logic where satisfaction is tied to deception, manipulation, and emotional reactions. Their sense of victory only exists when someone is there to react to them. They need an audience. They need a mirror. They need witnesses to their performance. So when you take away your presence, the mirror through which they inflate their false persona, their entire manufactured reality begins to distort. Silence, in their world, is not peace. It is a threat. One of the biggest mistakes survivors make is assuming that once a narcissist secures a new supply, their interest in past sources of validation automatically dies. We see the curated smiles on social media, the romantic posts, the staged happiness, and we conclude that they've chosen this new path, that they've found joy, that we've been replaced. But this belief is deeply misleading. The truth is far more layered and psychologically complex, and in this video we'll examine how your silence affects not just the narcissist, but also the person currently providing them with emotional fuel. To understand why your absence becomes so loud, we need to examine the narcissistic worldview. Psychologists frequently explain that narcissists do not see people as distinct human beings with depth or individuality. Instead, they categorize people as objects, functional tools meant to provide fuel. When one tool stops working, they simply pick up another. But when the old tool locks itself away, refusing to be used ever again, it becomes something tantalizing and forbidden. This forbidden energy becomes an obsession. And while they may be idealizing someone else at the moment, nothing about their psychological makeup has evolved. They've merely swapped the scenery while repeating the same scripted behaviors. Meanwhile, the new supply, often portrayed as fresh and different, is frequently not new at all. In many cases, this individual is someone the narcissist has drifted back to repeatedly during previous relationship breakdowns. You may recognize this type. The ex who never truly disappeared, the friend who always hovered in the background, the person who quietly absorbed every rumor and complaint the narcissist made about you. They may now appear to be the chosen one, but in reality, they're simply occupying a momentary position as primary supply, a role often taken by someone the narcissist considers forever available. This type of supply persists because they are easy to manage, emotionally compliant, and unlikely to challenge the narcissist's distorted worldview. What complicates this dynamic further is that this new supply may have played a role, subtle or overt, in the toxic patterns of the past. They may have judged your situation from afar, felt superior during triangulation, or gained validation from being the one the narcissist turned to when conflicts with you arose. Yet now, they find themselves in the very spot they once smirked at, from the outside looking in. It's important to note that the narcissist does not usually enter these new relationships expecting permanence. Your decision to go full no contact was never part of their plan. They assumed you would remain accessible, a backup supply, a familiar refuge, a safety net when things inevitably sour with the new source. This is exactly why they provide vague breakups, open-ended excuses, and future fakes such as, "I just need time," or "maybe later when things calm down." These statements were crafted to keep the door unlocked, not to offer clarity. They never intended to cut ties completely because they never planned to invest fully in the new relationship. So when you hold your boundary, when you refuse to look back, when you reclaim your emotional autonomy, you disrupt the entire structure they've built. You remove their fallback option. You deny them control. And perhaps most importantly, you rewire the script they've run on every person before you, proving that the story no longer belongs to them. From the very beginning, their hidden intention was always to circle back to you. Narcissists operate with deeply rooted issues around object constancy, and in their distorted worldview, that means believing you will remain exactly where they left you, unchanged, waiting, and emotionally frozen in time. What they never accounted for was your capacity to set a boundary they had not seen before, the decision to go completely no contact. In their mind, your past responses defined you. Perhaps you argued, cried, pleaded, or tried to reason with them, but ultimately you still stayed. You picked up the phone. You engaged. So when you suddenly choose silence, the shift is jarring. It throws them into psychological turmoil because it disrupts a pattern they have relied on for so long. Your refusal to break the silence is more than a choice. It's a disruption of their entire operating system. Historically, whenever they walked away, you remained open for their return. You were the dependable fallback, the familiar safety net they assumed would always be there when their new supply inevitably failed to live up to their impossible expectations. You know the cycle well. They would reappear with charming words, a wave of love bombing, and excuses wrapped in faux vulnerability. Statements like, "I didn't mean it," or "It was just a misunderstanding." And because you hoped for change, you often allowed the reset, believing a fresh start could erase the past. Many people trapped in these dynamics repeat this reset so many times that it becomes the rhythm of the relationship. They leave, they return, and you begin again. Yet narcissists never consider the possibility that you might stop participating in the cycle, that you might, on your own terms, decide there will be no more calls, no more texts, and no further access of any kind. Their disappearances were never about clarity or reflection. They were a manipulation strategy rooted in intermittent reinforcement. By withdrawing affection, they conditioned you to chase it. Their plan was to momentarily put you on hold while they explored someone new, fully expecting to come back the moment that person no longer served their needs. To them, this arrangement was perfectly acceptable. In their mind, they are entitled to multiple sources of attention, affection, and admiration. People are not individuals to them but items on a menu, an appetizer to enjoy now and a main course to devour later, depending on the mood. This behavior is part of what psychological experts call monkey branching. They never release one branch until they have a tight grip on the next. They glide between people without regard for emotional or even physical consequences. Many victims endure deep psychological distress, anxiety, insomnia, adrenal fatigue, from being dragged through these toxic cycles. It is in their nature to drain others emotionally, and when you implement no contact, you effectively cut off the lifeline they have been feeding on. In that moment, the entire structure of manipulation collapses. Your silence becomes a declaration that the game has ended. And this is no small shift. It is not merely blocking a number but reclaiming your emotional independence. This energetic reclaiming of self is what shakes them at the core. To a narcissist, their manipulative tactics only work because they assume they always have access to you. Imagine a child who storms out to the neighbor's house. The act only feels dramatic or powerful if they know their parents are still at home, concerned and waiting. But if the parents change the locks and take a trip, the rebellion loses all its power. Narcissists react similarly. The new supply will inevitably disappoint them because the new supply is human. Humans make mistakes. They ask for time, intimacy, commitment, or emotional reciprocity. They have off days. And it doesn't take long, sometimes only a few weeks, before the narcissist becomes dissatisfied and begins searching for the familiar comfort of the previous supply. This is when the hoovering phase begins. But this time, when they reach for you, their hoover hits an impenetrable wall. Your lack of response communicates more than any explanation could. Calls go unanswered, messages cannot get through, emails bounce, and every attempt to reach you is blocked. This is when they finally understand that you are not playing along anymore. You have revoked their access permanently. And although they may appear calm and settled with their so-called forever supply, everything shifts the moment they realize you are truly gone. That is where the internal chaos begins, chaos many survivors have witnessed firsthand. When a narcissist realizes they no longer have access to you, the entire dynamic with their new supply begins to unravel. The chaos isn't caused by anything the new partner has done. Rather, the narcissist suddenly finds themselves without a scapegoat. They can no longer complain to you about the new supply, nor can they complain to the new supply about you. With the triangle dissolved, the narcissist is left alone with their own inner turmoil, and the new partner is now trapped in an emotional pressure cooker. Even without a single argument or provocation, the narcissist abruptly shifts into devaluation mode, becoming cold, irritable, dismissive, and critical. This change is triggered by the realization that the person they truly wanted to keep in their back pocket, you, has vanished. In your absence, you become mythologized. The mind of the narcissist transforms you into a flawless, unreachable ideal, one the new supply could never possibly match. They begin comparing everything: your listening skills, your organization, your financial stability, your emotional steadiness. Although the new partner hasn't changed, they suddenly feel like they're competing with a ghost. Confusion sets in, and when they question the narcissist, they are met with irritation or outright hostility, because the narcissist is incapable of confronting the shame and injury triggered by your silence. This emotional collapse strikes at the heart of the narcissist's fragile identity. Beneath their grandiosity is a void of self-worth and an insatiable need for external praise. What you provided, your unique blend of empathy, intellect, emotional grounding, or support, cannot be replicated by their current partner. This is precisely why narcissists keep people tethered. Each source of supply fulfills a specific role, and you supplied something irreplaceable. It is also why, when they shifted to the new supply, they often attempted to maintain a friendship with you. Their insistence on staying connected had nothing to do with maturity and everything to do with keeping you as a backup plan, like a spare vehicle parked in the garage in case the one they were driving broke down. Your refusal to play that role has left them stunned, and no matter what image they present on social media, the relationship with the new supply is far more strained than it appears. This leads us to the world of digital facades. Narcissists are experts at curating illusions. One of the most telling signs that you have disrupted their internal ecosystem is when they stop publicly posting pictures with their new supply. They will either vanish online or begin posting cryptic content, sad lyrics, vague quotes about betrayal, or complete silence. They do this for two major reasons. First, they fear that if they appear too content, you will fully detach and never return, so they try to appear emotionally accessible, even vulnerable, hoping to lure you back. Second, they are busy constructing new strategies to regain control, carefully managing their online presence so as not to push you away permanently. While they might pretend they are no longer with the new partner, this is usually an illusion. The relationship continues, but it has soured since the moment you closed the door. You made a decision that cannot be undone, and for the first time, the narcissist realizes you have seen through their disorder. The curtain is pulled back, and the magician is exposed as nothing more than a wounded, manipulative figure pulling strings. Now the narcissist finds themselves stuck with the very person they glorified and showcased as their grand upgrade. Publicly claiming this new relationship has trapped them in the role they projected, and without your attention to fall back on, they must endure the reality they created. This is deeply problematic for them because the specific validation you once offered is gone forever. It may have been your emotional intelligence, your practical support, your psychological insight, or simply your ability to stabilize their chaos, but whatever it was, the new supply cannot replicate it. The narcissist begins resenting the new partner for not being you, despite being the one who discarded you in the first place. As this resentment grows, the fallout begins to spill outward. Narcissism never confines its destruction to one individual. It affects the entire environment. Partners, children, co-workers, friends, and anyone nearby will feel the impact of the narcissist's spiraling frustration, emotional volatility, and internal collapse. When a narcissist loses access to their primary source of emotional fuel, you, and finds themselves disappointed by the secondary source, the new supply, their entire system becomes unstable. This is often the moment when you begin hearing from their enablers, the so-called flying monkeys, or even family members. They reach out because the narcissist can no longer reach you directly. You'll hear things like, "He's falling apart," or "She's not acting like herself. Can you please talk to her?" These individuals aren't motivated by concern for your well-being. They are trying to ease the burden of the narcissist's anger and emotional chaos by pulling you back into the cycle. They desperately want you to resume your former role as the emotional shock absorber so they won't have to take the hits themselves. Your commitment to maintaining no contact doesn't only destabilize the narcissist, it sends shockwaves through their entire support network. What you've triggered is known in psychology as a narcissistic injury. Narcissists rely on the illusion that they can always return, that they will forever hold a place in your life. Their ego is built upon the belief that they are unforgettable, indispensable, and superior. They tell themselves that they possess a magnetic charm, that you will always be waiting exactly where they left you. But now, reality has crashed through their delusion. You've created a rupture in their fantasy world, leaving them disoriented, exposed, and humiliated. It's as if they sat down for a match expecting to dominate the board, only to find that you've quietly stood up, flipped the table, and walked away. A narcissist cannot win when the game no longer exists. The new supply wasn't prepared for this shift either, and now they're enduring the consequences. They are grappling with the sudden emotional withdrawal the narcissist is experiencing because you, the original source of stability and validation, are gone. The new partner wonders why their soulmate has turned cold and irritable. They don't realize they're witnessing withdrawal, a psychological crash caused by your absence. This journey also carries a spiritual dimension. Many people struggle with guilt after cutting contact, believing it feels harsh or unkind. But this perspective must be reframed. When you notice the narcissist hiding their new partner or when you feel tempted to break your silence, remember, sometimes God removes people from our path to shield us from deeper harm. There is a phrase that says when you pray for rain, you must deal with the mud. But when you pray for peace, sometimes the answer is silence. Your silence is not cruelty. It is divine protection, an intentional act of honoring your emotional and spiritual well-being. You are safeguarding your soul, and the narcissist's distress is not your responsibility to soothe. Their dissatisfaction with the new supply is not yours to fix. Your decision to permanently withdraw is something they never anticipated, and it dismantles their entire formula for manipulation. Yes, the new supply is still in the picture, but you will no longer see their relationship flaunted online. The narcissist is now in damage control mode, concealing the very person they once showcased. Do not be fooled. This does not mean the narcissist has lost interest in regaining access to you. On the contrary, they are persistent strategists. Yet you didn't argue, confront, or cause a dramatic scene. You simply executed a quiet, decisive exit. Silence, when chosen intentionally, is a profound form of power. There is strength in refusing to explain yourself to someone committed to misunderstanding you. Your silence communicates the truth more powerfully than any confrontation could. I choose my peace over your approval. And that choice deserves admiration. It takes extraordinary courage to break free from emotional ensnarement and reclaim your autonomy. While you've stepped into clarity and strength, the narcissist is left scrambling. They must continue performing their counterfeit version of affection for the new supply, but their performance is hollow. They are acting for an audience that no longer exists because the one person whose attention they valued the most, you, is gone. Meanwhile, the new supply inherits a version of the narcissist who is tense, unsatisfied, and secretly preoccupied with your absence. The entire foundation of their relationship is built upon your memory, which means it was structurally doomed from the start. It's a fragile construct, an unstable house of cards destined to collapse. But you have stepped out of the triangle completely. You are no longer the emotional battery powering their dysfunction. You are rebuilding a life anchored in authenticity, peace, and genuine connection. One that does not revolve around manipulation or emotional dependency. Thank you for watching. I hope this deeper exploration has brought you clarity and strength for your journey forward. If this message resonated with you, please give the video a like, share it with others who may benefit, and leave a comment describing your own experience. Have you gone no contact? How did the narcissist react? Your stories are powerful and help others heal. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Your engagement helps us reach more survivors seeking understanding and support. I'll see you again in the next video. Until then, stay strong, stay safe, and keep that door firmly locked.